Teaching Science for English Language Learners by Alexa Williamson and Peyton Wathen. This is Peyton Wathen speaking. NSTA standards. This promotes scientific literacy among English language learners. It is not about teaching scientific content, but about ensuring that English learners have the tools, strategies, and support to engage fully in learning learning processes. Science education. Scientific literacy refers to the ability to understand and apply scientific concepts and principles, engage in scientific inquiry, and communicate scientific ideas. For ELs, scientific literacy involves not only mastering scientific concepts, but also gaining proficiency in the specific academic language that the science education demands. This often a significant challenge, but because scientific language can be technical, precise, and different for everyday language. To support English learners in becoming scientifically literate, educators must recognize that language and content are deeply intertwined in science education. ELs are not only learning that science is, but also to communicate about it, whether through writing lab reports, explaining concepts to peers, or engaging classroom discussions. Effective science teaching for ELs requires strategies that address both aspects. Content-based instruction ensures that students understand specific principles, while language-based instruction supports them in mastering the academic language necessary. Then you have the 5E model, which we all have learned about this semester, which is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. It goes in this order. You start the class with an engage, and you'll end the class with an evaluate. The 5E model is an instructional framework designed to promote inquiry-based learning in science classrooms, developed by Roger Bybee and colleagues in the 1980s. The 5E model is based on research in cognitive science and constructivist learning theory. It is structured to engage students actively in the learning process, allowing them to build their understanding of scientific concepts through exploration, discovery, and reflection. The model has been widely adopted in classrooms across the U.S. and internationally as a way to foster deeper learning and scientific literacy. Why is it important to include vocabulary in your class? The importance of science vocabulary in classrooms for English learners cannot be overstated. Language plays a crucial role in the way students engage with the understanding of scientific concepts, and for ELs, the challenge is twofold. They must not only comprehend the context and communicate those concepts. Science vocabulary is fundamental in bridging the gap between conceptual understanding and language proficiency, which is critical for ensuring that ELs can successfully engage in science learning and inquiry. Activities for ELs that are best for them are hands-on experiments, group projects, concept posters, graphic organizers, and simulation activities. The first one we'll talk about is hands-on experiments. Example of a hands-on experiment is a water cycle experiment using a plastic bag taped to a window. This can show condensation and evaporation. Students can describe what they see and use vocabulary like evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Next one's a group project. An example of this is students can work in small groups to design and build a model of a volcano and explain the scientific principles behind it and using vocabulary like lava, eruption, and magma. Next one is concept posters. These will be posted in this classroom for the students to go and look back on. Students create a poster on photosynthesis, key terms like chlorophyll, light energy, and glucose, and then present their poster to class explaining how plants make food. Graphic organizers. After learning about ecosystems, students can use a Venn diagram to compare and contrast different types of ecosystems. They can all include terms like climate, plants, and animals, and this is what it would look like. Lastly, you have simulation activities. An example of a simulation activity is during a unit on animal adaptation. Students could act on how different animals have adapted to their environments using words like camouflage, migration, and predator. In conclusion, by integrating interactive and language-rich activities, science teachers can create a classroom environment that not only promotes scientific inquiry but also supports the language development of English learners. These activities help English learners engage with both scientific content and academic language, ensuring they build the vocabulary, skills, and confidence they need to succeed in science. Thank you for listening. Sorry about the way this video is done. I do not know how to present a PowerPoint and put the screen on the side, so I'm recording it with my phone and I'm just talking. Thank y'all for listening to my presentation.